Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you for a premiere video tonight, and this is for one of the first end of the year 2021 edition video for worst albums of 2021 that I'm going to be listing off from 13 to 1, or this might be in parts or so. I'm not sure. Probably two parts at least. So yeah, I'm gonna start with my list, which is from only 13 albums that were the worst albums, in my opinion. And yeah, I'll let you know what I thought of each album that I listened to. So let's dive into this worst albums of 2021 end of the year video. For the first end of the year video, I should say. Now, to start things off, we have Imagine Dragons with Mercury Act One. I was disappointed with this album. Um, yeah, I thought it was gonna grow on me throughout time, but Dull Knives was a bad song, honestly. Maybe to some other people, it was fine for them, and probably the best rock song they've ever done. But I just did not like how it was sounding with Dan Reynolds singing it. It was so cringe and all that. The way he was singing it, and it was really bothering my ears the way he's screaming it too. And I was like, ugh, this is not the best scream stuff they've done. So, yeah, Imagine Dragons Mercury Act 1 was a disappointment. I remember giving it a 5.5 out of 10 when I reviewed it. I really did not like this album. Even Cutthroat was a horrible ass song. Giants was not very good. The beginning did very well, but like from tracks 1 to 3, and then comes Monday, and that was so sus. I guess you could is the right slang word to call it, but that was just cringe, honestly. Monday was. It wasn't a bad song. It just was okay. It didn't. It doesn't have a place in my heart to be a great song. So yeah, No Time for Toxic People was an okay song too. Nothing special, but the melody is a little too cheery, honestly, and too upbeat. But hey, if you guys like Imagine Dragons Mercury Act 1, more power to you. I personally did not. So at number 13, I picked Imagine Dragons to start off this list with Mercury Act 1. At least it was at the top of the list. The other ones, well, it still was a disappointing album, but at the end of the day, I know they did lose their. Dan Reynolds lost his sister to cancer, or some kind of cancer or whatever. I can't remember what it was, which I'm deeply sending out my condolences to Dan Reynolds and what he's going through with that, because I know it's hard losing someone, but still, to really oversell yourself with this pop alternative rock stuff they're trying to go for, it's not impressing me. So I'm just not liking their sound nowadays. So, like I said, at number 13 is Imagine Dragons with Mercury Act 1. Number 12 is Upsaw with Lady Jesus. Now, this one was really disappointing. I didn't feel nothing for this album. I felt a lot of hatred towards it, honestly. Time of My Life was, but some of the other tracks were so annoying and club kind of music and other things like that. I think the last song just really pissed me off, honestly. I was like, ugh, this is horrible. Can't remember all the song names, but I'd have to scroll back and look through what I wrote down for each song and what I rated it, but most of them did get like 2s, 2.5s. So I wasn't really impressed with Upsol's Lady Jesus album, so it was a boring ass album and just disappointing. So yeah, number 12 I picked Upsol with Lady Jesus. I'm not gonna remember that album. Number 11, this one came out like back in March of this year. It's an EP for Serge Tankian's Elasticity extended play. Now, I just found this to be horrible, in my opinion. But, yeah, and I just was not feeling for this EP. Your Mom was just a horrible ass song, the way how Serge is singing this track. He is the lead singer of System of a Down, which I think he should just stick with System of a Down, because his solo work is kind of cringe. The way he's... Electric Caravan was not a bad one, but I just wasn't feeling for his vocals in this whole EP. Just wasn't sounding like good Serge Tankian stuff from System of a Down. So at number 11, I picked Serge Tankian with Elasticity EP. I'm disappointed with this release. Number 10, we're now at the top 10 for the Veronicas with Godzilla. This album was shit. It was just not good. I personally did not like how it was sounding, and the way that both of them are sounding in this whole album. At least Human was a step up in a better direction. Not everything was great about it, but it's on a different list for this end of the year list videos, but that'll be at a later date. Godzilla, the title track, was really bad. Really did not like it. And other releases that they've released on here, like Stealing Cars, was just a drag to get through. And there were other songs on here that I was not feeling for. So, yeah, for Godzilla to be an interesting album by the Veronicas, it wasn't. It was horrendous, and I don't see myself returning to this album, and I haven't been returning to that album because I don't want to hear that album again. It was so cringe. So at number 10, I picked the Veronicas with Godzilla. I don't remember every song from there that I'm trying to mention, but I remember some of enough to what I listened to when I heard it back in May of this year. So yeah. At number 9, we have AJR with OK Orchestra. This was a bad album. A really bad album. Even Christmas in June is just... I can't stand that song, honestly. Even the beginning, the la da 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 da. For that, the title track itself was horrible, the way it was sounding, and Jack's singing in it is... What the fuck is this shit, honestly? Because they are so... Their music is bad, honestly. And it just doesn't impress me the way they're sounding. And I thought Christmas in June was going to be something interesting. They're trying to say cuss words while sounding like children's music, honestly. That children would listen to, or preteens, or whatever the fuck. Mostly kids would listen to this kind of music. And this music is not good. And even way less sad was not good, and some other ones like what was that song? It was track number 8 on the album that I remember. Ordinaryish People was Humpty Dumpty was annoying. The way it was getting repetitive, and I was just not feeling for that song. I just hated it so fucking much. So yeah, AJROK Orchestra was a bad album, and it made it on this list of worst albums of 2021. And I probably will have to return to you for another part for this, but I might have one or two more albums to mention, and then I'm gonna wrap this part up and do another part and premiere it at a certain time tonight. But yeah, number 9, I picked AJR with OK Orchestra. Fuck this album. It is not good. Number 8 is Lana Del Rey with Blue Banisters. This album was boring. It was lifeless. And it was not going anywhere. Honestly, it was just a drag to get through this hour and 1 minute album. Or something like that. Think that's what the runtime was for it. Maybe almost 62 minutes. Can't remember the length time, but still, I hated this album. It just sounded boring. I brought it down a step of a notch from what I really originally rated it. I thought it was the best thing, but when I heard the album, I was not pleased with it. I was just bored out of my mind with that album. So Lana Del Rey has really disappointed me this time around. I thought Chemtrails was a good album, or maybe a decent album at best. It's kind of, the rating for me for Chemtrails kind of went a little down to a different rating. But I'll reveal that in my later videos. So, Dealer was annoying. I didn't like how Lana Del Rey was whining and singing, and it was bothering my ears, honestly. So, fuck that song and fuck this album. So, at number 8, I picked Lana Del Rey with Blue Banisters. At number 7, well, I'm actually going to have to return to you before I get to number 7. I'm going to return to you for the next part. So comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of part 1 for worst albums of 2021. The official worst albums of 2021 part 1 video. And yeah, I will be returning to you for part 2 for worst albums of 2021. This is the start of the end of the year videos. And it'll lead all the way to it's going to lead all the way to December 30th. So definitely tune in for my next part for worst albums of 2021. I thought I was going to mention number 7, but I didn't have time due to the fact that I can only upload up to 15 minutes for YouTube, because going past 15 minutes it won't upload for some reason, because it'll say video too long or whatever. But anyway, stay safe, take care. I hope you enjoyed this first part for worst albums of 2021 video, and I'll see you in part 2 pretty soon.